reality? What's the reality?
Okay, hello, and welcome to What's the Reality, where we talk all things love, relationships, pop culture, and reality TV. Speaking of reality TV, I have some of your favorites from Married at First Sight, season 18. Yay. Michelle and Alan are here. Mm-hmm. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
I can't wait to hear about your journey. And later, we will be with Emem and Brandon, so stick around for that. But for now, hello and welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, catch me up. The last time I saw y'all was, reunion, and where are they now? So where are you now?
I feel like I kind of just went back to my normal life.
Normal life?
Yeah. I'm single, not married.
She said, I'm making that clear right away.
Everything kind of just went back to status quo, which is kind of a nice.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing to go back to, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, reunion, there was an introduction of somebody that, didn't end up working out. Mm-hmm. Not officially dating or anything, but trying to figure that path out. And, luckily, the way everything transpired in the months preceding or following, mm-hmm. I ended up meeting, my future wifey.
Future wifey.
So, life has become the dream that I never thought would happen.
Is she here?
Yeah. No, she's with me all the time. She's my
she's
little
here.
Yeah. We just look right over here.
Okay.
Yeah, girl. Hey.
She's beautiful, y'all. You can't see her, but she's stunning.
Oof.
So you're in love.
Very much.
Apparently attached at the hip.
Yeah. No, but in like a healthy way. Like,
yeah.
I saw for the first time where, we're together, we're out, and like I've been given trust, and I've been given something that I haven't experienced prior, where I don't have to defend, I don't have to validate, I don't have to. It's just she loves me, and I could tell. It's that feeling like innately ingrained where you're like, I don't need to worry.
Okay.
We've got our little bracelet with like the little magnet when we hold hands, it like attaches.
Oh man, I get weak around love stories. I love little cute things like that.
It's the cutesy stuff.
Oh, I know. All right, let's get into it. I love that, but no, I'm kidding. So you guys were a part of Married at First Sight's first ever cheating scandal. Not you two, but the people that you were married to cheated on you two with each other. It's such a mouthful, and it's kind of confusing because what the hell is going on? But how do we feel about that situation now?
It's been so long, it doesn't feel as crazy, but when you watch it back, like sometimes I'm like, gosh, I don't think I was dramatic or angry enough, even though a lot of people thought I was too much of that. But it's really crazy to think back that how it went down. I also think that like putting it together wasn't as easy in real life as it looked like when you watched the like edited version of it. But yeah, it was insane. It was actually very insane. And like thinking, I always thought I was insane. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna look so stupid because no way that they're doing this.
Yeah.
And then the more I like sat with me, I was like, I think I might be right. But then you still like the back of your head was like, okay, either I'm gonna look like an absolute psycho in my edit because I'm wrong, or I'm gonna be right. Yeah. So I kind of was like, I probably already look like a bitch, so I might as well just go for it.
I feel that. How do you feel about it now?
Yeah, it kind of goes along with so I've always had this philosophy because, it's come out on the show that, I've been through, certain pain. I've been through a lot where I've made a conscious choice in my philosophy in life is you have my unfettered trust until you fuck it over.
Yeah.
And if I lived any differently, I would be a bitter person. I wouldn't have, my fun little nature that I have I've been told you don't need to put your trust into everybody. Not everybody deserves it.
Right.
But for me, it's hard to distinguish until you tell me. And if I'm clearly communicating with you, just tell me. Just tell me this. Tell me that. It is what it is. Like you have my trust until you don't. And it just proves my point that, it's, I don't know. I think that's why it was so easy to kind of get over.
Yeah.
Was that philosophy. I already knew coming into this success rate is there.
Yeah.
I think Jamie and Doug were like a big inspiration from the earlier seasons where it could turn into something, but at the end of the day, you could tell the vibe, and I don't need to fight for something, or I don't need to fight for it. It just should naturally happen.
Agreed.
And I'm more than thankful how everything turned out, honestly.
I feel that. So, Michelle, fans did not like the way you were treating David, like at all, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do this, but here's some comments that the people are saying.
God.
One of our not so nice people said, Michelle needs therapy, not a husband. Why can't Michelle have therapy and a husband?
Right. I am in therapy, everybody. So yes, I am in therapy. I have heard everyone loud and clear.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I can admit that I was definitely not nice in the beginning, and I had a lot of anger towards the match that I took out on him that should not have been directed towards him. I was really excited about like having this opportunity. Like I'm 40, I was ready to get married, and so when I was matched with him, I had a hard time understanding why we were put together.
Yep.
And then the more he kind of dumped a lot of stuff on me really quickly, and then I was
like the housing.
Yeah, like I think,
stuff.
I mean, we had been married for 35 seconds and he was like, I live at home with my parents. I smoke cigarettes. I have a tattoo of my ex, like on my chest. And I was like, whoa.
You're like, here's my dream man.
Yeah. And so
that's what I wrote down.
And then like, I am someone who I have a hard time getting over things. And so once I heard those, like I could not get it out of my head.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah. And I kept being like, he's like, nice, like quit it. But there was like, the more I got to know him, the more just like something was always off and I never could place what it was. But yeah, I took out tons of anger towards the experts and who they paired me with, which that was not his fault. But yeah, I took it out on him because he was the person sitting right in front of me. So
Do you feel like in those 35 seconds when you learned all that information, you checked out, or were you still committed to the process?
I was still committed to the process. Like I told myself whether I liked the person or not, like I was going to complete the 8 weeks. Like every day I was like, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. So I was always committed to doing the 8 weeks.
Okay. Regardless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I threatened to quit probably every day.
Right.
I think the honeymoon, every day I was like, I'm out of here.
Right.
Just to reinforce, though, I mean, there were a couple times, I don't want to diminish that experience because I've seen some of the comments.
Yeah.
And just completing the 8 weeks seems like a task. Like, there we go. But I think you did put in, more effort than just, I'm going to last the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you did progress. You did show each day that there was, I'm going to make this effort, even if it's one thing.
Right.
So
I'm
it's
gonna
less
text him
about
something or,
finishing the 8 weeks and more about finishing it with your person, or just because you wanted to finish the 8 weeks?
I knew pretty quickly that I didn't think he was my person.
Okay.
But it was more just like putting myself out there and trying something new and committing to like even learning more about myself through the process. I also want to add, because I think all these mean tweets, people don't think I lived in the apartment. I 100% like lived in the apartments. Like I keep seeing all these comments being like, she didn't do anything with them. Like did we spend a lot of time off camera? No, but like we did sometimes, you know,
Right.
like we would text about getting groceries together. We shared meals off camera. Like we did do things together. I think people think that I was like, all right,
Right.
clocking
Just
in
outta
just
here.
to
Yeah, yeah,
film.
yeah.
But like I lived in that apartment. Like I did try.
Okay,
I
noted,
tried.
noted. Thanks for clearing that up. I have one more.
Okay.
This one, this person, they were typing fast with their thumbs because there's a lot of words on here. They said, she didn't deserve what he did to her, but let's be real, she did not hold herself accountable.
I do feel like I took accountability. Like every
Yeah.
time I sat down with the experts, I was the first one to be like, I'm being a brat. I'm being a pill. I know I'm doing these things.
yeah.
He's a nice guy. I shouldn't be doing these things. But it was hard. It was hard for me. I would say those things, but then I didn't change my behavior because it was just, I was so stuck on those things.
Right.
Also, it wasn't like anytime we sat down, I was like, you live in your parents' basement. You know, like that was a huge topic. So of course,
Right.
like that's going to continually be
Right.
brought up with people like, why don't you like him? I would list the things that I didn't
Right.
find attractive for someone my age.
But now that I guess you found out about him and Madison, did it all kind of make your inner feelings feel more validated?
I never thought that I didn't, until the text came, I never thought he was cheating or stepping out. Like that didn't cross my mind. Now, I did think there was something inauthentic about him. Like I don't want to call him like he lied, but he would say things that I would always be like, huh, you know, like I live at home with my parents. It's a completely separate unit though. I'm like, okay. And then it's a 2-bedroom. It's a 1-bedroom. It's a studio. And then like you and son, he's like, well, what do you think about it? Just change your mind. And I'm like, did we just do the same tour? Like we just like were never in sync. Cause I'm like, it looks like you live in your parents' basement.
No, I'm sorry, but I cried when he goes, and here's my laundry room. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. And like he very much portrayed it as this is a separate unit.
yeah.
Like it was his parents' laundry was down there. So
Right.
I just don't think like to me, that wasn't separate. Like your parents come down here and do
Yeah.
their laundry.
Right.
Like it was just like little things that he would exaggerate or like twist it a little bit that always like I was like, huh.
Just never fully got the
right.
truth.
Yeah. Or like his
straight
reasoning
up,
on
yeah.
stuff it always just seemed like he was bullshitting. You know what I mean?
Right,
So like
right.
and I'm someone who I like to collect the data points, and then once I have a full story, I'm like, all right, I've got it together now. So yeah,
Yeah, and he gave you a lot of data
Yeah.
to collect, a
Yeah.
lot of data. I mean, one, reality TV is tough.
Yeah.
And then reality TV and dating is tough.
Right.
And on top of that, you heal for a whole year, then they air it, and then the
yeah.
world is attacking you.
Yeah.
So not only are you battling your own growth and development, now you have to relive it, rewatch it, and then battle the world.
Yeah.
So it's not, for those of you guys who think this is all rainbows and unicorns, like this shit is tough.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough. So I do commend you guys for coming out on this side of all the things. It's not easy. Why do you think it was so hard for David to answer the questions about him and Madison's relationship timeline at the reunion?
yeah.
You can answer this too. You look like you're
Yeah.
ready.
I think because
the
they lied so much that then
They don't even
well,
know
I think
the
he lied
truth.
in the beginning to protect her
Yeah.
because I think he would have admitted pretty early on that like this is my girl, like
Yeah.
you and I don't even like each other. But so I think he was protecting her for a really long time, and then I think once they came up with their story, they had to stick to
Right.
it, even though I don't think it makes sense
Right. Because it keeps changing.
Right.
So.
But yeah, so I just think they wanted to stick to one story but do I think it's true? No.
No. What is your gut telling you? When do you actually, like, if you could pin a point where you thought shit got weird?
I mean, I think they formed a connection at the honeymoon is what my theory is, like super early
yeah.
on. So that's like when people always bash me for not trying. I'm like, he was with someone else basically. The same time I checked out was the same time he checked in with somebody else.
Interesting.
But yeah, I don't
I'm
know
sorry,
when
wait, do you feel
physical.
that the honeymoon
Yeah, I mean,
as well?
And David's admitted that that's when they started like an
Getting
emotional
googly eyes.
connection.
Yeah.
It's been admitted that the connection started being established during honeymoon. Like I remember one of the scenes was, ooh, I saw that girl's biceps or something like that.
Oh, God.
And that was during the honeymoon. That was like day 2 or 3 of the honeymoon.
Yeah, really early.
And okay, fine, whatever. You know, you're attracted, whatever. But now how does that establish furthermore? And I do remember because homegirl would get up at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm sleeping my ass in. Like I work from home.
Yeah.
I get up at 8 o'clock. I log in. I do my thing. And I'm like, I'm sleeping. I'm not wasting 2 hours. And never once was I invited to the gym or anything like that. But I had no idea that.
Because why would you ever think that?
David's down there too.
Yeah.
And I think a few days after 2 or 3 days of seeing each other in the gym, they're on the treadmill, which, whatever, or they're doing whatever they're doing. And they establish.
What do you mean by that?
Well,
Cardio.
I mean, yeah, they're doing their cardio. And that's when I think it actually started to, okay, hey, let's coordinate. Meeting up, let's coordinate, talking, what are we working on today, kind of thing. I think
We're working on today, leg day.
Yeah. I mean, shit. So, I think days into moving into the shared apartment is when the seeing each other and conversing outside of the group setting.
Because I think we only lived a few floors from each other, the two of us.
Yeah, you guys were like right upstairs.
Right.
Yeah, I used to, like, David would, and your guys' schedule was way off. So, I mean, when David and I would have a beer, he's like, I'll pop up, I got a couple in the fridge.
Yeah.
And we would shoot the shit and like kind of vent to each other. I popped up there. He was like literally the floor above us. And so it makes, it was very easy for them to coordinate.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
I have so many questions for you because I just can't even imagine the level of betrayal. Like you're having a beer with someone doing cardio with your wife. Okay, Alan, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
You kind of chimed in a little bit about how you were feeling about being a part of Married at First Sight's very first cheating scandal. But I would love to hear how you're feeling about now after seeing everything and watching the world react to it. How are you feeling?
I think everything happens for a reason. It didn't end the way when I signed up for Married at First Sight. It didn't end up what I thought. The statistics were, I thought I was going to be that one because I was confident in who I am and how I conduct myself, my values. And, I put a lot of effort into the interviews qualifying and all this. And I'm like, these people have gotten to know me to the point where I trust them. But everything happens for a reason. And, I would not, the woman I'm with now, if I met her 6 months or a year earlier, we would not have been ready for each other.
Right.
It didn't turn out as intended.
Yeah.
However, it turned out how it should have happened.
Yeah. Why do you think, because Madison did express a lot that she was like scared to open up and be honest about how she felt about where you guys were in the relationship. Why do you think she was so afraid?
No idea. I've
Done.
I'm that guy that, like, I'm not talking romantically, but like, friends and people that I meet, like, you could tell certain people gravitate towards you because I don't have anything to hide. I know I'm a little weirdo. I know I'm.
We all are.
You either like me or you love me or you hate me.
Yeah.
Pick a side and fuck off. It's one of those situations. I don't need everybody in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I figured the only way to a successful relationship is if you're authentically you. You don't like my authentic self? Push on. And I have no idea. Like I remember day one of the honeymoon. I asked her, like, off camera, because this was the night where everybody's like, "Oh, Alan's staring at you" or something, because like when we were all on the dance floor or something.
Oh yeah.
And then Carla was like, "Why is he creepily staring at you?" And I'm like, We've been on the dance floor for 2.5 hours. I'm old. I'm tired.
Just sleeping,
Like,
standing up.
chill the hell out.
Gosh.
I was not staring. I didn't give a shit what was going on. But, I still have that nature in me to make sure that everything's okay.
Right.
So I get back to the room and I'm like, what did I do wrong? Like, I can tell, like, something, I don't ever want to make somebody, whether you're my partner, whether you're a friend, whether I'm not Ubering, but like if I'm your Uber driver,
Right.
I don't want to make other people uncomfortable.
Right.
Which I know I can sometimes with my directness or something. But I'm like, did I do something wrong? Is everything okay? And then I was told day one of the honeymoon, I just expected something different, I wanted a man with, beautiful teeth. That was important to me. I'm like, okay, I can handle that. That's superficial. I wanted somebody that, I forget a couple things.
Right.
A lot of it blocked out.
Right. In and
But
out.
one of the most offensive
sound
things
effects.
was, I'm a sound effect guy.
Yeah, I can tell.
I wanted somebody that takes care of their body. And I'm like, I am okay. Like, in what way do I come across as, I don't go to the gym. I'm not lifting all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I mountain bike. Like, I
Right,
do
yeah.
active things.
Right, you're an active
You are,
person.
yeah.
Do I look like a schlub?
Do you regret not going to the gym at 6:30 a.m.? Do you think that would have changed anything?
No. No, maybe it would have changed something.
Yeah.
But I don't want, that's not me.
Y'all, I have a question for the both of you. Do you feel like the show wronged you in any way, or do you feel like you weren't portrayed accurately at all?
I don't think I questioned the pairing I got just because, again, I don't see what we I never saw what we had in common.
Do you feel like you were set up for success?
No,
Yeah.
I think I was set up for drama. I think we delivered on that. But yeah, I just don't see any world where him and I would have made it in the real world. Like, I don't think we would have ever met. I don't think we would have ever hit it off. I just have a really hard time
Seeing that.
seeing
pairing,
that. Yeah. I was portrayed to be exceptionally more mean than I am in real life.
Okay.
You only really saw when him and I were fighting. Like, there were moments where we had,
You were nice.
Yeah. We were just like had normal days, like normal conversations, and none of that was portrayed. But I don't necessarily know if I feel wronged by that.
A lot of people that get bad edits blame like their kind of reaction from the public on production. And
No, I
their
mean, I
edit.
said and did all of those things. I just also did nice, things that weren't shown.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't like I did those things. Yeah. Fully admit I did those things. 'Cause even I watched, I was like, oh my God, why'd you say that? But then you just don't see like the leading up to like the nice things that happened.
Right. Do you feel that you were accurately portrayed?
I think there's only one way to portray is my actions, and I own all my actions. I think I conducted myself how I would in any situation. People may say, "Oh, it's not the way I was portrayed. It's people's perceptions." When you see the comments, like, "Oh, why'd you punch a cabinet?" Come on. Like, okay, number one, I can afford to replace the cabinet. Okay. Number two, there's insurance on the Airbnb.
Oh, goodness.
So I am very analytical in even my aggressive, if we want to call it that. But no, I mean,
Is that like your normal rage behavior,
I
or
don't
was that
rage.
abnormal?
I'm not an angry person.
Yeah.
When I'm hurt, and I'm hurt hard because I allowed you to hurt me, and I gave you that trust, and you betrayed it, and naturally it hurts.
Right.
Anybody in my life, like, I'm a little bunny, like, I'm a little fluffy.
Yeah, I was
you
going
know.
to ask, is there anything both of you that like you want the people to know about you that the audience still doesn't know? And you're about to go into that you're a little bunny
Yeah, I mean,
with a little rage.
I'm a little bunny, but I'll kick
Yeah.
I don't know. I care about people.
Okay.
And I don't ever want to instill pain or hurt on anybody.
Yeah.
It's not in my nature. But, you know, I mean, everybody gets a little angry once in a while. And there's frustration. It's not anger at that individual. It's, you know, largely like, okay, I've been fucked over.
And that's how it came out.
You know, and but I'm conscious. Like I left that fire pit because I know how things can end up. And I don't want to be the man that will ever put hands on anybody.
Right.
I never want to be the one that creates a situation that could lead to violence.
Right.
You know, however, you touch me, I'll fuck you up.
Uh-oh.
I mean, like,
Doesn't sound like a bunny. That does not
Not a bunny that I know.
Not sound like a cute little bunny.
I mean, you grow up a certain way and you have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I feel you.
so it's not like, but I know I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So
What about you, Michelle? Is there anything that the people don't know about
I don't
you?
think they don't know, but you just have to remember that you're seeing a small snippet of even, you know, like the whole thing was 8 weeks. So you're only seeing a little bit of that. Like we would film for hours and you're seeing like a 2-minute clip.
Right,
so it's
right.
like, I think like that's something that you have to remember, that what you see isn't the full picture.
full picture.
Which I think is hard, because even I, like before this, I would be like, oh my gosh, it's not that hard. Just like get over it. You know what I mean?
Surprise,
Then you get on, you're like,
surprise.
oh, this is really hard.
So you kind of mentioned that we don't see the full picture, which being on reality TV, I can 100% attest to. Are there any secrets that you both can share from your season that we don't know?
I think if I saw a lot of the episodes prior to filming Reunion, definitely, I still would have made peace. I mean, because there's no hatred in my heart.
Yeah.
But I certainly would not have been as nice.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have been given, like I felt like a bitch at some point. Because
I kind of kept seeing that during the reunion. Like you guys would sit on the couch and then you'd be like, oh, I forgive you. I want you guys to be happy.
Yeah.
And then go behind stage. And what did you say? I want to fuck her up.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, why you say that on the couch?
Oh,
Well,
man.
because I'm in therapy, everybody. I was told that I need to take deep breaths.
Yeah.
And so
It
I remember
seemed like
I
a lot
sat and then
of
I got
that,
home.
yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah. Yeah, but it's hard. But also, like Alan said, like we hadn't seen a lot of what was out yet. So we were just, you know, we filmed the reunion a year later, but we're like, those are just like all from memory.
Right.
It wasn't like fresh that we'd seen it on TV yet. And so I also, because I like watched the reunion too, I'm like, oh, I should have been way more mean. Even I was like, oh, because I remember you and I had a conversation. I was like, do not give it to them, Alan. And you're like, I won't. Because I didn't want to be the only one, because people always think I'm bitter and stuff. So I didn't want to be the only one being like standing up and like fighting against it. Because I feel like that's kind of what I did all season.
Is there anything you wish you could have said then that you want to say now, either of you?
I would be curious why Madison was so angry with me. I think I didn't realize that she was so angry with me until I watched it back. Because then I'm like, wait a minute. What did I do to like her specifically?
Yeah.
Like it just felt like she had a lot of rage. I mean, I think it's because I exposed her, and I think, you know, they wanted to ride off into sunset. And after we wrapped filming, be like, we like each other now.
Yeah.
I kind of threw a wrench in their plan. So I feel like that's where it comes from. But it just seemed like she was really angry with me.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think at one point I was like, are you mad at me for confronting you about you
100%.
texting my...
The keep my name out of your mouth was insane.
Or even when she was like, put me in the boxing ring with Michelle. Like, I'm not as weak as you think I am. But yeah, like even that, I was like, what is happening? Like that always confused me. So it, you know, like I just never understood that. Because I feel like I wasn't even that angry towards her.
Right. The anger was definitely misguided.
A lot of it's kid shit. Like I think some of it is. I mean, she's younger. I mean, she's almost 10 years younger than me, and it's just kid shit. You know, you don't know how to handle it. It is a fresh situation you're put into. None of us have experienced the pressure of being on TV.
Right. Do you guys talk to them at all in any capacity?
No. I mean, there's been like group events, like people's birthdays and stuff where we're all at the same location. But I mean,
Did you say hi?
No, I mean, I didn't. They didn't to me either.
There's no
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're not in each other's lives. You do you. You know, have fun. I know I've gotten a couple messages.
Yeah. From David?
From both.
Oh, saying what?
Honestly, I don't remember. Just general, like, you know, like I'll do a story and then there's a little comment on it.
Reactions
Or,
and stuff.
Like, hey, you know, hope you're, after these past couple episodes, I honestly don't remember. It's not something, they're not in my life.
Okay, y'all. So before we end this, I could not shut this show down without the biggest, I can't even lie, the biggest Married at First Sight fan that I've ever met. Just so happens to be my best friend and sister. She would hate me if she didn't have this opportunity to come on here and ask y'all some questions.
Absolutely.
So everyone, welcome Tesh.
Pleasure to meet you.
She's joining us via Zoom to ask Michelle and
Great to meet
Alan
you.
some of her burning questions. And y'all, she had a list. She sent it to me the other day.
Ooh.
Like she's a college student, so she sent me the questions in like PDF form, stars, and with, you know, she cited her sources and everything. So I'm gonna leave it to you, Tesh. Ask your questions, be nice or not. But yeah, go ahead, girl.
Hey, hi y'all.
Hey.
Okay, so my first question is, what was your raw reactions with like watching it back with your family? How did you guys feel watching it back in real life and then with your family? Like, how did they feel about this whole swapping situation?
I like to watch the show by myself because I don't want anyone to see my raw reaction. But I think watching it back, it felt so much easier that like I was like, oh man, I should have caught on sooner is what kind of my reaction was to it. And I think the same, like obviously my family knew like immediately what had happened. So I think watching it back, everyone was like, man, we should have picked up on it a little bit sooner.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of stopped watching the show. So I catch like glimpses and I watch more of like the clips on social media. But when I was watching it, it was, you know, it's fascinating to see yourself. But I think what I picked up on was like just the two-faced kind of side of it. And the stuff that, you know, Madison or that things that would be said in those like little, I used to call them PTSD interviews. After a scene, you do like the one-on-one. That commentary was enlightening. And it really kind of showed how much of a disconnect there truly was.
Yeah. Or you pick up on little lies that like you didn't know. Yeah. Like at the time, you're like, oh man, like I should have added that to my list of things.
List of data. Like two stories, and then like
data points,
now the interview shows a third story. Right. And it's like, okay, something's not lining up.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't the whole time. Something's not matching up. Yeah. Okay, so my next question is, we watched the reunion and we see them wearing rings. What the fuck is going on? Ooh.
Oh my God.
Why? And then like, how did you guys feel when it was brought up? Like, how did that make you feel when you saw that they're wearing rings?
Yeah, Juan had told me I don't know if you were, but we were all in town filming one of the after parties when they went and got those rings. And so Juan and I had maybe like dinner or lunch after that. And he came up to me right away and was like, I don't want to make you upset, but they got promise rings. And of course I was playing like we're from the mall.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, so I had a heads up. So the reunion wasn't the first time that I was aware of the rings.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
It's cute.
And then Juan was the one that, like, I think during the reunion, Juan told me the story. Oh, we went to the mall to get rings. And I'm like, because he was like bombarded by it. And he was like, oh shit, I didn't know we were doing this. And all of a sudden they're at like, I don't know. I hate to sound petty, but like Payless or something, and you're getting like a dollar store ring.
You mean
or
Claire's?
Something. Well, yeah, Claire's. Yeah, that's probably more appropriate.
Payless is crazy.
I'm like, dude, okay.
Getting matching light up shoes.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, hey, good for you. Do you? You know, I mean.
Again, it feels young. Like promise rings are young to me.
Well,
so that's why I'm like, it's cute.
I will disagree. That promise, the concept.
Are you getting a promise ring?
Yes.
Okay.
From Claire?
From Payless? From Payless?
Are you kidding me? Girl, come on. No, there can be the intention of we've made promises to ourselves about who we want to be as partners. And so I respect the concept. You know, hey.
At this big age, though, promise me verbally and then physically put a real ring.
Well, that's like, I don't want you to save money for
give
engagement.
me a verbal promise and then a physical At this big
I
age.
just want to add, if I may,
You
but
may.
like they lied about everything else. Who's to say they're not already married?
Ooh.
You know, like, if they weren't secretly married already.
I mean,
they're very
we're
sneaky, and it's
still,
possible.
I'm still married
so-
to David, so
Yeah, legally-
that would
They're
be
still married.
illegal.
Legally, I don't think
But
they
I
can.
gladly let's get divorced anytime.
Yeah, legally, I don't think.
Yeah, we're still married to them currently.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm sorry.
Tash, do you feel like you got your answers, or do you have more?
Yeah, I feel the tea was clocked there. I like that. I respect it. You guys gave a lot of grace. You guys gave them a lot of grace. And like, I clapped my hands because I was screaming at my TV for both of you, like yelling for both of you, like advocating, and no one can hear me, but you guys did.
Well,
I
I
heard you.
appreciate that.
I hope you had your popcorn and phone.
I did. I'm sipping extra wine. Like, I
I'm
was
crying.
stressed, but yeah,
Y'all.
no, I'm proud of you both. And the outcome is what it was supposed to be. So.
Y'all have my sister stressed, but I do want to thank you, sister, for coming on. And
Thank you.
It was
I'm
so nice meeting
yeah.
Pleasure to
you.
meet you.
we got our girl MM.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, and you're a boo. Brandon will be joining us later as well.
Yes.
Okay, but first, before we get into all that, how are you?
I am excellent.
And you look excellent.
I am excellent.
You
I'm
look
doing
excellent.
well.
Okay.
Life is treating me very well.
Tell me about life. Catch me up.
Well,
What's new?
I've moved into a home with Brandon. We've been expanding our family, just trying to grow and take this time to really pour into one another.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what has the last year been like? Tell me about it.
Ooh, the last year, after we wrapped up MAFS,
Yeah.
things moved very quickly with Brandon and I. We started merging our lives. We have even started looking for a house to live in long term, things like that. Just focusing on getting our future together.
Okay. So tell me about your relationship with Brandon. What's it like? What's tea?
Brandon is the best. I
Girl, you
absolutely
love that man.
him. I absolutely love him.
Yes.
Yes. He
Okay.
showers me with love every
Okay.
day. Every
Yeah.
day, running my bath water, things just as simple as that.
Come on, running bath
it don't
water.
take much. It doesn't take much to make
Yeah.
me happy, but you know what? He always goes above and beyond
Yeah.
to make me happy.
So you're also a very accomplished business owner.
Yes.
How's your med spa?
So the med spa is under construction.
Okay.
We are taking a break.
Okay.
We needed a break.
Yeah.
After the filming and things wrapped up, things got hectic with my schedule, and just trying to manage and balance it all has been tough.
Yeah.
It's been real tough.
So what's happening now, business wise, work wise?
Business wise, work wise, I'm taking a pause and focusing on family.
Come on, family.
Yeah. I didn't think that family would be at the forefront so soon,
Yeah.
which is why I had to slow down on the business aspect. But I understand now as a 36-year-old woman that some things are just more important.
Yeah.
And I really put a lot into my business. I put a lot into my career.
Yeah.
And I was also single then.
Right.
So
right. Things change.
I was single.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that I'm not single,
You
I
gotta
need
move a little different.
I have to make
Yeah.
different choices
Yeah, yeah.
for what I want my life to look like at the end.
I love that for
Yeah.
you. Okay, so let's get into your season.
Yes.
You were married to EKG.
Sadly.
And things did not work out. In your words, what do you think went wrong?
I think that we were just two different people.
Okay.
I believe we were two different people. I think that a lot of my energy was not received well. And that's fine. Not everybody's for everybody.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like we had a disconnect.
Okay.
And rather than, stay a high, respectful road, things got a little murky. Things got a little murky.
Yeah.
But I focused on the positive and pushed through and wanted to finish my process.
Okay, let's talk about the murky stuff, because I feel like things got murky real quick, fast, in a hurry,
Yeah,
honey.
yeah.
Not like a slow burn, like almost immediately. And from my POV, correct me if I'm wrong, if it started earlier, okay, but the kind of the home tours, I
Yeah.
feel like things kind of shifted.
I think that was the beginning of the signs that it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was the first signs of this is not going to work out.
Yeah, it gave, okay, big money.
It gave big money. It gave big money. I wasn't prepared for that.
It gave big money.
I didn't think on this platform I was going to get hit with a hey, big money.
Hey, big money.
Yeah, yeah. Especially over TVs and karaoke machines. I feel like these are things that most people, most fun people have. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't think
Right.
anything was extraordinary about the things that I had.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was kind of like, I don't know, from, again, my POV and a few of our POVs, because I've been seeing the comments, it was almost an attempt to humble you.
Yeah.
And like take you down a notch and kind of compare his lifestyle to yours and like make it seem like because what he had wasn't as great as yours, he didn't want you to feel happy and accomplished in what you had going on.
That's what it felt like after watching it. I didn't feel it in the moment.
Yeah.
In the moment, I was just trying to stay excited, stay happy.
Naturally.
Yeah. But that's what it felt like watching it back. I wasn't prepared to see that.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that must have been tough to watch back. On the reunion, you said it was hard hearing EKG call you aggressive, especially as Black women who are business owners, very successful. Tell me about how that felt and where you are with that now.
It was hard being called aggressive on a national platform, especially when I don't hold myself that way.
Right.
I'm not an aggressive person. I am very firm. I am very direct, but aggressive is not really the proper word for me. And it was humbling. It was humbling. The point was to humble me, and the point was made.
Yeah.
Because now I have this umbrella of aggression that people see me as just because of the words that he used during that time.
Do you believe him when he said at the reunion that he wished he said, oh, she's just a go-getter. She's just like working for her business or whatever instead of aggressive? Do you believe?
I believe that the intention behind the word was to humble and to hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think that there was any other explanation for why that was said.
Yeah, so we don't believe his cover-up on that.
No, we don't
Couch.
believe that.
Yeah. At the reunion, EKG revealed that he was giving you mixed signals because he wasn't attracted to you anymore.
Yes.
One, how'd that make you feel? And is there anything the audience doesn't know about your relationship with him?
There's nothing that makes me feel any kind of way about him saying he's not attracted to me.
Yeah.
Like,
did you feel that he wasn't attracted to you?
you know what? In the moments, I didn't know what to feel.
Yeah.
I was so focused on the process itself and saying that I committed to this. And that's where I led with. I led with the fact that
So do you kind of feel like when you were walking down that aisle, no matter what he looked like, whatever he presented, you were going to just commit to the process?
I was committed to the process.
Yeah.
I am one of those people who, if I set a goal, my goal was to make it through this process. Right. I mean, now the actions that happened during the process, I couldn't control. I couldn't control the things that he said or did. So I only was taking care of myself and controlling the things I could, which was myself.
On wedding day, did you feel that he wasn't attracted to you?
On wedding day, I did not feel that he wasn't attracted to me.
Yeah. When did that start creeping in?
The minute he called me an asshole.
Yep. That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
When he called me an asshole, I kind of figured that out. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Enough of that, man.
Yes.
Oh, enough of that, man.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Thank you.
Let's move on.
I was waiting for you to get through that. I know we had to talk about it, so I was going to let it ride.
Yeah. But let's move on and talk about Brandon.
Yes. He was going through a divorce, and I was going through a divorce, and we grew up in the same exact city. We were in the same 6th grade class. He was upstairs. I was downstairs. We had never met. Apparently, one of my best friends said I had the biggest crush on him back then. I never met him.
What?
Never met him. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's giving red string, red string theory.
Yes.
What? Okay. So
he knows my cousins. He knows my brothers, all because they went to public school. I ended up going to private school in 7th grade. So I never got a chance to interact with him. We have so many mutual friends.
That is pretty epic, actually.
Yes.
So what about him makes him different than your previous relationships?
Brandon has been so attentive to me. He's attentive. He listens to the things that I need without me even having to say them half the time.
We love a man that can read between the lines. We love that.
And I try to be as direct as possible, but still, even when I'm not, He knows where to pick up where I'm lacking. Like around the house, he is the most helpful person.
Yeah.
When I tell you he cooks, he does all the cooking because he loves to cook. He's a fire lieutenant, so it just came part of him.
Wait, so are you saying that you never really received those kinds of things in previous relationships?
In previous relationships, I never really received those kinds of things. It was difficult because a lot of the men that I dated really were out for self. Like they didn't see partnership. Brandon understands partnership already. So I don't have to explain to him that we're together, we're doing things together.
We're
He
a
automatically, he picks up as a teammate,
Yeah.
not someone who is moving along life by himself.
Okay. So how do you feel that you show up for him?
In the emotional space. I give him that space to lay down his feelings, lay down his burdens, and we are able to do that together.
I'm gonna be honest with you real quick.
Yes.
There's a lot of chatter online about your relationship.
Oh, yeah.
People are saying that you're moving too fast. Maybe your ex-husband was right about you. I'm gonna read a few comments from social media, and we're just gonna vibe and see.
Let's flow.
Okay. Any guy I dated who proposed on the first or second date was the biggest red flag. The fact that she agreed is 2 red flags, 1 for each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see how people have their own interpretations of Brandon and I, especially because they don't know the history.
Right.
Even though we did not know each other, there's this commonality. There's this, what is the word I'm looking for? There's this familiarity between the both of us. And it kind of helped things work. He's already friends with the people who would hold him accountable should something go wrong.
Right. He's been vetted.
He's been well vetted.
Yeah. Next comment. lost so many this episode. Laud. With this one has
Laud.
This, like with the sad face. We was rooting for you, but ma'am, you just went on one date, got engaged all in one episode, and leave EKG alone. We all know he don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah. So that has a lot to do with my apologies because I like to end things on a good note. The apology was mainly for me.
Okay.
Because I don't like speaking to people the way that I had to speak to him because that's where he took it. That's where we took it. I don't like to speak to people like that, and I had to apologize for my own good conscience because I don't want anybody to be made to feel small based off of something that I said.
So are you sorry for what you said or sorry for how you said it?
I'm sorry for how I said it.
Yeah.
I could have used better words that weren't as harsh. But, when you're hurt, you say some things. Yeah. And that's what came out.
I wish you the...
Nothing but the worst.
Nothing but the
Nothing
worst.
but the worst. Yeah. Don't get on my bad side.
Nothing but the worst.
Don't get on my bad side. That's
Girl,
all.
You read that with your chest.
Yes, I felt it.
Yeah.
And it was more so about the way that I felt I was being treated.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about, does he want me? It was still treat me like a human being.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Treat me with respect because I haven't disrespected him.
Right.
Still to this day, you can't find tape of me disrespecting because it never happened.
Right. Besides EKG's personality mishaps, was he what you were expecting, like physically, emotionally, mentally?
Do you know what? I did not expect anything going into this.
Okay.
Knowing I was marrying a stranger, I figured the best way to go was to not expect anything.
I love that.
It's just easier because then the letdown that may happen in the future won't happen because you expected nothing.
You didn't set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did not expect anything physically, emotionally. I just was like, let me give this person a chance, be the best person I can be, and maybe it'll work out.
And
it didn't exactly look, but it worked out in the end, which is one thing I'm staying positive and true about, is it did work out.
Beauty did come from that mess.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, they're little secret angels looking out for me, the little angels.
Okay, real quick. So are y'all in contact at all?
No
No.
contact.
Yeah.
Only divorce things.
When is the divorce?
The divorce is happening immediately.
Okay.
It just, with production, there's certain rules we have to follow about timing of the divorce.
Okay.
But the divorce could have happened after he called me an ass.
So you can't file for divorce because production. What about production?
So in order for us to have a successful show and keep people watching, we cannot file for divorce because it's public record. Yes. So let's say it didn't work out immediately.
Yeah.
And the show, they're still filming. I can't go and file for divorce because
People can look it up.
immediately people online, they are
Nosy.
detectives.
They know your mama's middle name.
Okay.
Before you're even before the show airs, they know your whole background.
They have found out so much stuff that I'm like, where are they getting this information?
Yeah.
But yeah, they will find out and then it will ruin the season. So we cannot divorce until it's all wrapped up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay. So you very bravely shared at the reunion that you experienced a miscarriage.
I did.
Very sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
What was that journey like for you?
That journey was a tough journey. There was a lot of sadness. There was a lot of, what could I have done differently to prevent this? There was a lot of time spent in hospitals during that time. And it was a period of reflection for me more than anything, just reflecting on the way I behaved, the way I've carried myself throughout life, and just realizing that it's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay that, things happen to me and things will happen. But it's about how I bounce back from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the loss has brought you and Brandon closer?
The loss has definitely brought Brandon and I closer. Experiencing that, he was right by my side during the entire thing. Like, I was in the hospital for a couple days, ended up needing a transfusion. It was a traumatic event, to be honest. But having him by my side made it that much easier. It made it that much easier.
Has it changed kind of your view of how you're wanting to move forward in making a family? Are you still very excited about?
I'm very excited about still, creating a family. It's just timing.
Yeah.
I want it to happen on God's time still.
Come on.
Still.
And it will.
Whenever he says I'm ready, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so happy that we're having this moment because you're just very inspirational right now. All right, you guys. Brandon is joining us. How are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome to What's the Reality?
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Okay, Brandon, so the last time we saw you was at you guys' commitment ceremony. What have you been up to since? And is there a wedding on the horizon?
We got things in work. We
things in
haven't
works.
talked about an actual wedding.
Okay.
Because the commitment ceremony to me, I feel like was great.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Right now I have a lot of things going on in my life with my parents and everything. And so I've been focusing on my mother and everything, but I'm officially retired now.
Congratulations.
And I'm just trying to enjoy.
Our girl is beaming. Like the way she's looking at you is insane.
Yeah, things are a lot better. I retired early due to PTSD. A lot of people don't understand when I talked about the light with him. The darkness wasn't anything relationship-wise. It was literally me with my job, and it's so much stuff I can't talk about.
Okay.
So I had to describe it as darkness, and M made me believe that there is light. When we had that talk the next morning, M really, and sometimes it's not a bad thing to have a strong woman.
Yeah.
People say they want a Michelle, but in order to get a Michelle, you have
strong.
You have to be able to receive like a Barack. 10 years of them wasn't like perfect.
Right.
You know,
Right. And she talks about that a lot, how it was not easy.
Yeah,
And,
Michelle made it clear
Very clear, actually.
that this was not just some some smooth coasting.
Yeah.
Everybody has their ups and downs.
We're going to Thailand for our birthday this year.
Oh,
My best
beautiful.
friend is out there. He owns his own compound, so I'm going to go support him, stay with
That's amazing.
out there, meet the family and stuff.
Yeah, we got plans. We got some things in the
That
works.
is amazing.
More pouring into each other.
Clearly.
More pouring into each other.
The way you guys look at each other is quite intense.
That's my
That
baby.
smile, I was like, man, stop smiling at me. Like, I can't even be mad at her. She started
My
smiling. I'm like, baby.
Okay, so Brandon, let's chat.
Yes.
The people want to know, what was it about Emem that made you move so fast? What happened here?
Her ability to be an empath, her ability to recognize my weakness as a strength. And when I felt that, I can't let that go. She didn't judge me for my weakness, my past, of me. Basically, I was going through like 2 divorces, one with my job, something you do your whole life, you live for, and you can't take it no more. And everybody else looking around me, you this big, strong guy, you tougher than that, and it's just not. We all cry the same. It's not.
It sounds like you two found each other at the most perfect time and were perfect for each other at that time when your paths crossed.
Funny you say that, because when we first met, we always talked about our fathers. And her father passed and my father passed. And I'm like, it had to be our daddy up there talking like, I got a son.
And my daddy like, I got this daughter.
That's the jokes we talk about.
Yeah, we definitely crack that joke regularly.
I love that.
Like-
She was telling me earlier that you guys are from the same place.
Yes, we grew up 11 blocks from each other.
Yes, and never met.
Never met.
Did you have any idea who she was?
Never. I known her brothers for 7th grade was 98.
That's 20, 30s.
27 years. Never knew they had a sister.
What?
I don't know if they didn't want her around me.
She does not
But
exist.
never knew.
Yeah.
I mean, I know them. They know everything about me. They know about me financially. So a lot of people were saying, Ralph, you didn't really give him smoke because he knew me.
Rap, you knew him well.
Yeah.
So it's not a. I called him because I didn't know he was related. I called him like, oh, and he like, yeah. I'm like,
What?
yeah.
There's more to this story that did not air.
Once at the Rojo Casino.
At our first date.
Our first date.
Okay.
She gave me her number. You know, production tell us to leave, and everybody leave. So I called her. She didn't call. I mean, she didn't answer right away. Maybe she was getting in the car. So she returned my call, and I seen Obot.
My last
coming
name.
from where we come from.
There's only
immediately
one.
I'm like, ain't no way. I run
yeah.
up to the car. There's no way possible
Yeah.
that you're related to Ryan. You feel me?
Yeah. And it just,
We got
From
the
there.
same godfather.
yep.
That'd make it even crazier.
My mind is being blown on this.
Yeah.
And never met each other.
One of my very close
Really?
friends, actually, her father, I called him immediately after I left the date with Brandon. I'm like, is he a good guy?
Yeah.
He's like, yes, he is a great guy. I said, okay, that's all I needed to hear.
There's levels and layers to this that we did not get to see. There's so much that connected you guys, like
Yes.
emotionally, physically, spiritually. Like there's a lot of like pieces on this chessboard that just align for y'all.
Yeah.
And it was all heaven sent.
Yeah.
I didn't expect nothing.
I didn't expect anything going
Right.
into this date. I almost didn't go, to be honest. The producers had to talk me into going. After I had such a terrible time in the beginning, I was
Right.
like, I'm done filming.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore. But I'm happy I went on that date.
I get there, I'm sitting there, I'm nervous.
Oh,
And walk through the door, I seen her height. I never dated really tall women.
how tall are you?
5'10".
5'10".
Yes.
She's not tall enough.
I'm the perfect height.
That's my baby.
I'm
But
the perfect height.
Brandon,
yes.
let me get your thoughts on something really quick. So EKG said M just wanted a plug and play husband. What's your thoughts on that?
He was the first plug and play.
Ooh.
Because it's called Married at First Sight.
Ooh.
So his wife, he had no idea who he was going to see on the other end.
Ooh.
I'm not plug and play. I got to chose to make her my
Yeah,
wife.
yeah. We chose each other,
So-
which is the difference. That familiarity. It was too strong for me to ignore.
Yeah.
And plug and play, if it's like a unique key, most people, you can't plug anybody into this slot.
Come on.
So I'm her perfect fit. So plug me.
That's
and I'm
what he
plugged.
said.
So
That's what he said.
Okay. Okay, so what do you have to say, Brandon, to people who say that you're a little over the top or you just doing too much?
They talking about me. I don't care.
So you want the people talking about you?
Honestly, I didn't do none of that for the people. I was just being me. Had, drinks and that's me. I live unapologetically.
Yeah.
I know life is short. Dealing with my PTSD, you should laugh more and be less serious because you don't get that time back, and the time you waste, just think. So that way you can say, what you do yesterday? I ain't do nothing. No, I did do something. I was thinking yesterday. I was laughing yesterday.
So you're going to tell the people that you are this person on and off camera.
That's a fact.
That's me.
That's
I will propose right now.
That's who he is.
Like, I don't
I'm
care.
trying to tell you. He's
Yeah.
this big energy.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows him knows that that is exactly who he is. If you go around our old neighborhood, they will say this is exactly who he's been since the beginning. Even in the 6th grade, this was him.
I was class clown and teacher pet. And
Okay, well now it's all making sense.
Come on.
It's all making sense.
I got voted as the baddest kid, and I also got voted as the nicest.
Teacher's favorite.
That's actually
That's
hilarious.
crazy, right?
Yeah. So Brandon, you have kids.
Yes.
How have they embraced your relationship with Emem?
They love him.
Yeah.
Like when I say love, they have M dates.
Oh.
like they don't call me.
Yeah.
They call me occasionally.
They bring me doggy bags from the. They be out eating, kicking it.
Yeah.
I come back. I
He
eat
has
the
2
leftovers.
amazing children. They're not. These children are exceptional. When I tell you, top of cheer,
Yeah.
top of basketball,
Come on.
Top of
academically, like
straight A students.
great kids.
I love that.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I couldn't have picked better stepchildren, to be honest. I couldn't have picked better.
Can you see what your future children are gonna?
Oh my goodness! Yes, I'm already envisioning.
Yeah.
I'm already envisioning.
A lot of energy.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of energy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of energy for
love
sure.
it. I love it. So Brandon, what's something that people often get wrong about you?
Can I say
I don't
it?
really.
He's not homeless.
Oh yeah, let me go on that
Brandon has
Okay,
never been homeless
in my life. Okay,
in his
so
life.
Oh, what?
So I was open and honest on our first date. She asked me, "So what's going on?" I said, "Currently, I'm living on my sister's couch." But it was 72 hours after I filed divorce. It wasn't like I had a house. I didn't want to sell it. I had a house that was in the process of selling, and that's why I was there.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold for you two as a couple?
Babies.
Come on. No more hand clapping.
That's it.
Hey, so that whole hand clap was a whole thing. You just only saw one part of it.
That hand
Brittany
clap was
started.
That hand clap. Look, the producers started that hand
Day
clap.
one.
Day one.
And only gonna
It's
use it
been
at
a
the
running-
end. Oh my
It's been
God.
a running theme. Yes. So anytime we talk about anything, the hand clap comes
Yeah,
out.
because the first time they were like, "Did y'all ever, sleep together and everything?" And I'm like, "I'm not spreading her business."
Right.
Then Brittany was like, "Did y'all?" So I told the camera, I'm like, "Well, yes, we." Then ever since that,
feels so graphic and inappropriate.
Doesn't it feel so real?
Like
Look,
looking
come here, baby.
Oh my God! This is a family
that I didn't make it up.
Okay.
No, right now we just got into a new place. We might stay there a year or two. Wait for the market to change. Start house shopping.
Yeah.
And decide where we want to live because, Chicago's such a big city. So determining whether we want to be in the suburbs, whether we want to stay in the city, there's just so many moving pieces as far as where we want to land as far as home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, let's play a game.
Okay. I like games.
I like a game.
I
You like
a good
games?
game.
Only if I win.
Well,
He's
you gotta
very
win.
competitive. So
Well, this is more like something fun.
Okay.
We'll play it. I don't know. You can win if you want to. Deem yourself a winner. I don't care. This is called Date or Ditch.
okay.
And I'm basically going to give you a hypothetical dating scenario, and then you just decide whether you would still date the person or ditch them.
Okay.
Okay? So, scenario number 1. You've been on a few dates with a new person and you really like them, but when they finally have you over to their place, you find out they're still living with their ex. Date or ditch?
I would have to ditch on that one just because where's this conversation that happens that you tell me before I get to your house that you live with your ex? Yeah, no, I'd have to ditch.
That's definitely a ditch for me. Because now you're going to be living with me. Nope.
Ditch. It's a ditch for me too. Because imagine you walk in and you just see a woman come out in a towel and
her hair tied up. It's like, what is happening here?
That's my ex. We're just friends.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got to go. My Uber's outside.
I got to blast.
My Uber's outside.
Okay. Next scenario. You're on a first date and they are shockingly knowledgeable about serial killers. In more than just a I listen to true crime podcast way. Ditch or date?
You know, I like a good first 48. So, you know, somebody might, you know, I'm not going to judge. I don't know. You said shockingly, which makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have to ditch.
I'm going
to have to ditch. If you watch a couple episodes of SVU, you cool with me.
Yeah.
But if you
know the ins and outs.
You know the ins and outs. Yeah. You know how not to get caught. Yeah, I'm going to have to ditch. I'm going to have to ditch.
Okay, Brandon?
Ditch for me, too.
Okay, agreed. Next scenario. You go on a date to the movies and they cry the entire time, but the movie is a comedy. Date or ditch?
Oh, I'm ditching. I'm ditching. You can't cry.
What if I'm crying laughing?
You're going to cry the entire movie?
What if it's really funny?
The entire movie? I haven't seen a movie that funny. I have not seen a movie that funny that you cry from beginning. No. Ditch. Ditch, please.
I don't know. I might. Yeah, that's okay with me. She cry. Oh, yeah. Laugh it out.
Laugh it out.
That's so cute. I can feel the love here on this couch. Like, amazing, beautiful. You guys have not stopped smiling. And you guys keep inching closer and closer.
Closer.
I'm like,
the mic.
The mic. She's not going anywhere.
I'm trying to be calm because, you know, I want them to say he's here for this and that. But.
Is that what they're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it.
They're definitely saying he's here for TV.
She hired me.
I hired him. He's a paid actor. I'm like, I don't pay that well.
My price too high.
What would you say your biggest takeaway or the biggest thing you learned from your experience on Married at First Sight?
The biggest thing that I would say that I learned is to stay true to who I am. I feel like there are times where, you know, I was worried about the way I'd be perceived, the way I'd be looked at, but if I just stay true to who I am, I won't have to worry about any of those things just because I'm being myself.
Right.
So just staying true to who I am, for sure.
I can relate to that.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you don't have to put up a facade. You don't have to fake it. You can look at the person and the woman that you were on that show and be proud of her.
Yeah.
And not be confused. Like, who was that? Or
exactly.
what was I thinking? Like, I can appreciate that. What about your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway from the show is a better understanding for love. At first, I came in judging love off of feeling. Later on in the season, you'll see Pastor Cal kind of teach me what love is. Love is not the feeling, because feelings come and go. Love is the commitment.
Come on.
When you make that commitment to that person, you're committed to them, whether you feel this way or not. The commitment is the love. So people out here that's judging love on feelings,
good luck.
Yeah, it's not going to
I'm not saying it's not going to work. I love is love, but you gotta be committed to that feeling then.
Right.
Even when it's there. So love is a commitment. So my biggest takeaway from it is my whole outlook at love.
Yeah. So what have y'all learned now that you wish you knew when you first started the experiment of being on Married at First Sight?
What have I learned now?
I learned that the fans are mean. I would, boy. They like, why is he here? You right. I shouldn't have been. They mean. I could have been.
Yes, they have
That's what I
absolutely
learned.
no filter. That some people have no filter. That's one thing that I learned, and just to be prepared for anything to come out. Yeah.
And I won't say all fans because you have some great fans out there, but the ones that's they making bad press on the show. The show is not about what they're talking about.
It's about
if people
love.
come here committed for love, the show will work out.
And at the end of the day, we should all be rooting for love, no
Love.
matter what it looks like. It doesn't look
Where
like
it
the
came
same for
from.
everybody. My love story is not going to look like y'all's, and vice versa. And I think people watching these shows should be rooting for love.
Yes.
Point blank, period.
As long as love is love.
Right.
Like, that is the goal of the show.
That's the goal.
The whole plot was, let's find love.
Yeah.
So if I didn't find love in the conventional way, the way they expected me to on the show, they should still be rooting.
I do
It
want to
should
put in
still be
parentheses
positive.
because the show was a little messy.
Yes.
We find love as long as it's not hurting anybody else.
Yes.
I want to
Exactly.
add that in there.
Exactly.
If you start hurting other people, betraying and lying to other people, sneaking around,
Yeah.
maybe we're not rooting for that off the bat.
Yeah,
but
we don't condone.
we don't condone
We don't
that.
condone harming other people in the process.
in the process. Yeah. But with that being said, I'm so grateful that you guys were able to join me here on What's the Reality. This has been a pleasure. You look like you got something to say, Brandon.
I want to meet
can't
Ali.
marry you right now.
I want to meet Ali. I'm so excited for y'all. I seen her engagement. Congratulations.
That video was off the chain, girl.
He did
I'm
his
like, babe,
biggest
did you
one.
see what Ali did?
I'm like,
Baby, did you see?
Yeah.
Did you see?
Yeah,
He
but-
did so good.
Yes.
I'm sure he would love to meet
I would
you.
love to.
Maybe we could set something up and do a
Yes.
Chicago date night, a London date night,
Yes.
LA date
LA
night.
date night. Yeah, I'm sure he would love that. I would love that. We'll
Yeah.
set something up for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Put that on the books, y'all.
Say less.
Yeah.
Say less. I got my
100%.
calendar ready.
Okay. Thank you guys for being here. You guys have been a pleasure. I'm literally enjoying watching this love. You can't stop looking at her, and she can't stop looking at you. I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Nothing but the best.
but the best.
Okay. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of What's the Reality. Be sure to follow me on all social platforms at What's the Reality Pod. And I will see you next week.
What's the reality? What's the reality?